Hello, everyone, and welcome to another session of Journey from 1975 to 2025. On this journey, we talk to people who are turning 50 this year. We basically want to hear about what they have experienced, have them share some of the wisdom that they have learned along the way, maybe some words of caution. But certainly, mostly, we want to hear about the future. What do they feel? Have do they feel they are moving towards retirement? Is that something that's in the books for them, or is life just beginning at 50? So, welcome to this ride. Welcome to us talking to different people from different backgrounds. And today I have the pleasure of speaking to Kuziwa Hatendi, who actually lives in South Africa. Kuziwa, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm good, and warm greetings to you. Thank you for the invitation.
Oh, thank you for agreeing to come on. So, I am going to ask you to just introduce yourself. Tell us about you.
Yeah, um, I am Kuziwa Hatendi, born and bred in Harare, Zimbabwe, born in Kambuzuma, grew up in Bardal Greystone Park. So, yeah, don't hold me to it. Yeah, so I still have my ghetto roots, as they say. Yes, so I was born smack bang in the middle of the year, uh, 25 June 1975. As you know, that's God's favorite year,
It
uh,
is. I
and
like
God's favorite
that.
month is June.
Well, you know what? We'll
You know,
leave that part for debate. God's favorite year, I fully agree. Favorite month? I
yeah,
don't know about that. We'll leave that one for debate. Because now you're gonna get carried away and say God's favorite day is the 25th of June. I see.
yeah. I'm telling you, no, no. You know what they say? A day in God's eyes is 1,000 years, but the 25 June remains the same.
Okay, okay. You know what? We'll agree to disagree. How about that?
Yeah, no, that one I say, as you handle it, when it's your day, it's special. So let me not take that away.
Right?
I'm just celebrating my day.
No,
You know.
happy belated birthday to you.
Thank you so much. And I shout out to my twins who exist, and they're also my 50-year-olds out there. And yeah, you'll come across them. Yeah, I went to school, St. John's prep school, all the way to St. John's College. Shout out to my Rams people. Keep it green. And yes, the best lad school in the world, second to none, as they say. It's known like that. It's known
I
like
can't
that.
disagree with that
Uh,
one. My brother's a product of
it,
St. John's of Rams, so I can't disagree.
the man is anointed. The man is anointed.
You know what,
So
Kuzma, you're about to come on here and start some high school rivalry, 30 years
I
old,
no no no
bringing
you
up
no
some
no no.
people.
There's no rivalry, nothing. No. You can't rival. It's not like they. I didn't pay my own school fees, and they didn't pay their own school fees, so you can't rival nothing.
You know,
You
when you
know.
wore that blazer, the pride that comes with it, it's as if you're carrying the
I
weight of that blazer,
I got it. That was not
huh?
David Whitehead fabric.
Right? That blaze, it
Yeah, no,
did
that fabric.
add on the colors.
That
It's even
you understand that fabric came from, as you say, from the kingdom, the United Kingdom. So it was royal.
it wasn't just any ordinary, fabric.
No.
Mm-mm.
Even today, it's not it's a matemu temu that people see here. You know,
I can
it's
already
proper.
tell this is going to be an interview of pure laughter the whole time. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. So you are
So
you live in South Africa now, right? That's where you are
I live in South
anchored now.
Africa. I yeah, I lived in the UK for a bit. I was one of those that went to look for fortune, favor, adventure. I went to the UK in the late 90s, shortly after I met my current wife, and we were boyfriend, girlfriend, then in the 90s, 94, 95, and then went to the UK, did my stint there, and came back. And with the dream, I'll tell you what really drove me home was the fact that I wanted to start a family.
Mm-hmm.
and we wanted to start a family, but I never wanted my kids to look at my parents on a photograph,
Mm,
so we moved back, got married in 2004, and then 2005 went back to Zimbabwe. But Zimbabwe came with its challenges.
right.
So at some point, I looked at my family, looked at my son. Then he was like 7, my firstborn, and we had a second one. We were there because my boys are 3 years apart,
Okay.
and yeah, made the choice where you swallow, as they say, well, made zadachka,
Mm-hmm.
and it was really horrible to actually leave, but I had to, do that because I just didn't have the skills
Right.
and the streetwise of maintaining life in Zimbabwe at that time. So yeah, we moved here 2013.
Yeah. I feel like Zimbabwe, you had to be there when the decline started for you to actually
Yeah,
attain the skills. Coming in later, I think, as you just stated there, it would be
yeah,
very difficult. So,
yeah, yeah. No, but it is. I mean, look, it follows many economic, socio-economic debates, etc. I do not gun anybody
hmm,
for leaving Zimbabwe. I salute the people that actually remained and stuck it through. It's really it's beyond a schooling of hard knocks. You know,
right, right.
it's another level. Really and truly, it is another level of social skills, adaptation, the speed and the agility that you need to adapt to
Mm-hmm.
survive. And I mean, being in South Africa, we're still close to home. And really and truly, it's you go and see Zimbabwe because of the nostalgia, but as you also begin to realize that I may not necessarily have the skill set to remain here that long. So thank God my parents are alive. You get to see but I truly every time I go back to Zimbabwe, I salute the people that have stayed and seen it through. The progress they've made.
Same,
And
same
what they have
here.
done. And when you compare South Africa and Zimbabwe, I mean, not necessarily one for one, but you can see that Zimbabwe is far ahead in terms of reading a situation. You can sniff progress real quick,
Right.
or you can the sniff out the BS real quickly. I mean, yeah, it's a skill that Zimbabweans only
Yep. Yep.
understand. And
No, I definitely agree with you. Being able to, I am in awe every time I go
yeah,
to Zimbabwe because, and I only go for very short
yeah,
stints. And in that short time, I come to that realization that you just stated that it's just like I don't know how I would even keep
oh
up.
yeah, yeah,
I don't even know if I can because and I live in a place. I'm settled in the
yes,
U.S. I live in a place where I always say if I were to lose my job today, I can literally walk into a
yeah,
McDonald's and be able to get a low paying, much lower
yeah,
paying job, but at least I have that
oh yeah,
option. Whereas in Zim is that parallel economy that you have to one even know where it exists
oh
in order for you to be even to able to then find a way to get
oh
into
yes.
it and make any kind of relevance.
It's I often challenge people who got these MBAs, and I say, the thing is, your MBA is functional in a functional economy. You know, try out your
Very
MBA
true.
living in Zimbabwe 1 month. Take it from scratch, where people have built lives from scratch. As they say, I
Hmm.
always laugh at myself and friends and say, you shine. You shine, but your measure is these people you didn't want to see coming from Fio, coming from Kambuzuma. Yet that's where we were born. I was born in Kambuzuma, so I have no qualms. I mean, even here in South Africa, I do relate to people of the Sowetos, as they say. I mean, in South Africa there's Soweto and there's Soweto. No, 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 no.
Really? I did not know that. There's
Yeah,
Upper
so
Soweto
the
and Under Soweto?
Soweto, as the
Really?
travelers like to put it, as the foreign visitors, and say, I went to Soweto. Is it when they go and see Nelson Mandela's house and because that's tourism. Then there's the real Soweto, where things happen, you know. And you got to see society. I'm one of those I've been blessed to actually know people from all walks of life. I am a firm believer of humility.
Hmm.
So, no man is greater than the other. It's your handshake that just gives you integrity. So, even a man
Yep.
who's sweeping the streets is a father somewhere
Right.
and a breadwinner for some. And you got to give that to him.
Hmm.
And you shake that, and he probably
Right.
has a few nuggets of wisdom to share with you. So I get to see that, where you get to interact. People talk about the famous Alexandra, Gomorrah, it's dangerous. And that is very true. But, if you look for trouble, it comes to you. But if you're just the person and you just want to see, they
It
accept
comes to
that.
you.
So
Right.
always,
Right. And how you carry yourself, really. Like, if people show up and you're
always,
showing up with your nose up in the air, people already then have what
you know,
exactly it is that you wanted them to think of you. So humility is a huge thing. I always my biggest thing, kind of like what you said about integrity. My thing is always about
yes,
anybody I meet is on a pedestal because I don't know anything to put you any
yes,
lower. So you're on a pedestal. And then how
yeah,
far and how fast you fall from that pedestal is going to be based on how we
yes,
then get to know each other and interact. Because before that, you're totally a
yes.
blank, you're a blank canvas. I know nothing about you. So the having that type of not having that expectation or any any forethought things or feelings about a place or a person is one of the best things I think I have learned in my 50 years.
Yes, no, my greatest hero is my dad. And I am so
Oh,
grateful that he's alive to see me where I am today. I did give the man nonsense and drama, but he understood every stage. You know, he
he stuck by
truly,
you.
he stuck by me and he understood. One thing my dad always said to me is that, son, it doesn't matter who you fight in this world, but know that you have a name. And that name was not created by you. So don't soil it for those that are coming after
Mm,
you.
mm.
So protect that. Yeah, whatever nonsense you do in your life, just be a man of integrity. Be a man that, even if you're a thief, be a good thief where people
Be a good
respect
thief
you.
with integrity, right?
Yeah, be a good thief where people respect you that you're a thief. you
Well,
know,
and even with that, that integrity also comes in because there's also honor among thieves, right?
you know,
So even if that's what it is, integrity is going to come in somewhere.
that's what he's always told me. He says,
Hmm.
if
I
there's
like
anything
that.
that you're going to protect, you protect your name. And no one must whisper rubbish about you, even if they hate you, but they talk about you,
Hmm.
with fondness and say,
Hmm.
yeah, there's wit in that. So I've lived by that, and I mean that's my dad. He's always been a straight shooter, and he says it directly. He never minces his words. So I've been fortunate now that I'm a father as well. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, there's just lots to peel, and it becomes exciting that. And I asked him, I said, how do you feel that you got a 50-year-old son? He said, I'd never imagined it. You know, I'd never imagined it,
Well, but it's almost like with you. How old are your sons?
right. So I have two boys.
Uh
My
huh.
first son is 19, and my second boy is 16. So,
Now, doesn't it feel like just yesterday when they were both
wow,
babies?
when my mother used to tell me that I miss the days when I used to hold you. I miss the days when I used
Hmm.
to hold them because now it's these darn things, man. What do you call them? AirPods. Man, if I could crush those things. Whoever invented them, he doesn't have a place in heaven. You know.
Your dad said something about you at that age when
Ah,
there was something you were doing that he
eh,
also probably used very similar words
no,
or had
man.
very similar feelings.
You see, for us to communicate, if I could steal those things and just crush them, I've tried hiding them and they have a location on them,
You
Uh,
can locate them, find my AirPods.
yeah, and but having said that, I never thought I'd see the day my first son has just finished high school, and truly I
Wow.
am, holding back the tears that he wants to go and see the world now. I wonder if he's going to come back. Um, and
But why wouldn't he? You came back.
the thing is, I now know what my parents felt. Despite being in love and all that,
Mm-hmm.
I had a real thirst to go and be overseas. It was beyond my wildest imagination, but I needed to go. And I think as part of that generation, a whole lot of us that
Mm-hmm.
got to leave because we felt that, I know I blame it. Actually, no, to be very honest, I blame it on the culture, on the sub youth culture that we had, the music. Then we were crazy about Bobby Brown and the BBDs and wanted to dress like them in America.
I just went to see him the
I
other day.
when I get there, but I don't think we were told of the reality of being away from home.
No, no, no. There's never and you know what? And so I've had this conversation in certain different ways, right?
Yeah,
Our parents, what we went through when we went overseas is similar to what our parents went through with them integrating us into an integrated Zimbabwe.
very true.
So that excitement, right? I think those two things run very close. So that's why they were also very willing to let us go and be
Yeah,
able to see the world because they wanted us to experience what they experienced, that integration of Zimbabwe, that period of them now getting through to those things that they were not allowed to, that seemed
yeah.
so out of reach. And it was the same experience for us.
It's
So I almost think like it's ingrained.
yeah, no, it was cool. I mean, when I look at my kids now as teenagers and the availability of international information,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing the other world, it's at their fingertips. We used
Right.
to look at magazines. We used to wait for these magazines. Whoever traveled overseas come back with a Vibe magazine,
Mm-hmm.
and you flip the pages and you look and say, wow, that's how you knew rappers. And we had friends whose parents worked in embassies, so they would get these
Mm-hmm.
MTV videos, and we
And then
got that.
build
And
our own life about it with our
and
imagination.
yeah, you had this imagination, when I get it's going to be like that, and it wasn't. But when I went overseas and when I look back now, I think my pride kept me there, despite my unhappiness, and my culture shock, I should say. Not unhappiness, but
Mm,
culture shock.
right.
And, instead of saying, hey guys, okay, I've seen it, I need to come home, it's like, hey, ndoga shalza mwanangu. Make the best of it.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm,
you
mm-hmm.
realize that, yeah, to make the best of it, take time. And before you know it, 5 years have gone by, and
Time is so weird. Time is a weird concept.
very
It
weird.
goes by so
And
quickly.
one of the frightening things I had was when I used to see, friends who didn't have papers per se, being overseas, and then you
Hmm.
heard that mom has passed away, dad has passed away, and they couldn't go home to bury them. That was one of my
Right.
biggest fears. And when we decided to get married, we said we're going home, because when we started a family, I remember then my wife, now then fiance, and one day her and the girls wanted to go out, and three of her girls were now mothers. And I said, it's okay,
Hmm.
I'll babysit the kids, and I did that, until AM, when all these kids started howling and I didn't know what to do. So I called a friend of mine.
It was okay while they were quiet and
Yeah,
sleeping.
fed, but when it's, I want my mom. And we started phoning them, and then it was, what club are you going to? And I actually put these
Yep.
kids in the car, and I went with one of my
And you
brother's good friends,
uh-uh.
and I went to the club, and
And
I
you
called
followed
them. I
the
said,
mothers of the club with the kids.
I went to the club, we parked outside. I said, yo, girls, your babies are crying now. 1:45 in the morning. They were like, uncle, no, I don't know that part. But I realized something though, is that you're away from family support.
Hmm.
So that's one of the biggest reasons that took us home. And we went back to Zimbabwe, started a family, and took on. I mean, the initial years of starting a family was so exciting until the reality starts creeping in. You know that when they say school fee starts in grade one, it's true. you know, that's
And
when
you
it.
were giving the best.
you know.
So you cannot, like, that bar was already set for you.
Yeah, and you know the worst thing, I tell you, you know one of the biggest challenges. Okay, it's will always remain a special case, but because I went to St. John's Prep,
Mm-hmm.
I had to do it a second generation. You know,
Right. Mm-hmm.
and man, that was not easy. You know, that's when you start respecting your parents and saying, "Yeah, yeah," you know, and you know the journey with Manarasa
Y'all
Blazer.
did
Yeah,
that thing.
hey, that's the time. You know. And when I used to tell my dad, my dad would just look and say, maybe you should tell your mother, because personally, those are one detaining, you know.
Wow.
But yeah, so I always say, to those who have started families, enjoy it, Nothing,
Yes.
there's
Enjoy
no,
every moment of it.
enjoy every moment. If I could do it again, no, I wouldn't do it again. I won't lie. No.
But
I've,
you know what though?
uh
One of the things that I'm realizing in speaking to you is you seem very intentional
yeah.
in everything that you do. I think I'm getting this sense of, you moved back home because it was a very intentional move. You thought through all the things that you're missing because that whole the families that we grew up with, not
Yes.
being able to afford your children that, you do realize how they're missing out.
Oh yes, it's so much. I mean, even being here in South Africa, I mean, my kids going to a super private school and they meet people. They're friends with parents who have uber wealth. That kind of wealth that it takes the next 5 generations for it to finish, and
Right.
it creates its own social pressure. But one of the things that have kept
Hmm.
me strong is that listening to wisdom from generations before.
Hmm.
You only have but your name, and it doesn't matter. So I try to encourage my boys that just be yourself. One of the things I used to tell my dad
Hmm.
is like this. He says, why there's school uniform on? It's so that no one sees who is greater. Because if you were left to always
Yes.
you'd give us problems. So
And
that's
I can tell you, being a mother of a child who went to school here in the US,
yeah,
in a school system where uniform is not a thing,
yeah,
that really is something that gives pressure because children want to this whole wanting to live like the Joneses, right?
yeah.
Everything is set based on, especially now in these days of social media. I
Oh,
don't know how the parents would. My son is 26.
yes,
So, yes, social media was there, but it wasn't to the extent where it is now.
right.
And one thing I always told my child is I don't know. I've always had a very, I don't want to say humble way of looking at things, but I never bought him anything super expensive for him to go flash at school
Yeah. No,
because that's not who you are and that's not your money. That's
yeah,
my money.
yeah,
You were neat. You we had the basics. You had the foundation. I never bought him anything with anybody's name on it.
yeah.
So anything that was, whatever design or anything, I'm like, because unless I need you to admire people for specific reasons. You can admire an athlete and admire their talent, but
Oh
you're not
yes,
going to have their name on your back
yes.
because that's not you worshiping them. Until you get your own name on your back, then you can start looking at other people's names. And he did that.
Yeah. No,
He
you
got
see,
his name
it's
on his back, and that's
and
when, yeah, but you have to do those principles.
so that's why I say for me, I've enjoyed every step of the journey of parenting and every step
Mhm.
that is to happen in the future. But there is no point that I wish to repeat any process.
I hate to agree with you, but I do agree with you with
Yeah.
regards to that.
I do not want to repeat any process.
It's a one-time kind of deal.
That's it.
And
And you watch
as long as you've raised good, functional adults, I've
you know
won in life.
yeah. So like I say, I look at my siblings. I'm the first of three.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh, same
and
here.
I'm watching, because they all at different stages. I mean, the gap between
Hmm.
um, my siblings' children is a good, I think, what, 6 7 years, behind my last born. So uh, yeah, and I'm watching this, and you get to see what has happened before. They're like, "Hey," I'm like, "No," you know. I'm
Mm-mm.
not a babysitter, and I've told my kids, please don't call me to babysit. And I want to be a traveling grandparent. Visit and go. I want to enjoy my wife and my girlfriend. She's my girlfriend. I want to travel more.
Yes, so that's your girlfriend for life.
You see, so
If that's not your girlfriend for life, then that's a problem. But that
I
is your
know me
girlfriend
and
for life.
me and this chick, we want to go. I want to put my toes in the beach in Jamaica. I don't want to be phoned. Can you come
There
and
you
look after?
go.
No, 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 no.
Right?
As soon as this boy here is turned 16, as soon as he's ready for varsity, we done. We gone.
Well,
Lock up
listen,
in.
I am happy to tell you that the other side, the empty nesting side, is amazing.
Oh yes,
It is amazing. I feel like this is my second lease on life.
yes,
Because and for you though, you still have a little bit of time without because you still have some responsibilities, right? Until they're done with university and all that.
yeah,
My son is 26.
yeah,
So I am living a life of like right now, he told me earlier this week, "Oh, we're going on a hike and blah blah blah." Boy, you've never been on a hike.
yeah,
But okay, just drop your location so at least I know you're alive. Like that's
yeah. That's all. You see, for me,
you're
right
making
now,
adult decisions.
the way I'm planning this, because I mean, when we have our tete-a-tete and disagreement, when the
Mhm.
men come in and they want to show me they got more testosterone, I'm like, cool, gents, cool.
Okay.
As long as
Okay.
my
That
wallet
that
is
that,
not
that, that
involved.
voice gets deeper.
Yeah, yeah, no, as long as you can see they beat
You do
HS
what you do.
because I mean they ballers, guy. So my older boy is 6'5", his
Mhm.
brother is 6'3", so they're taller
Oh
than me.
wow.
And and I just say, listen, as long as my wallet's not involved, that's when we become friends now, because we still remain the. So I've said to my wife that as soon as these boys are in varsity, we are going to get a two-bedroom flat, give them keys.
Downsizing.
No, no, I know, no, I'm booting them out of the house. I'm locking up and we're gone. How you survive on a monthly, wherever you are in the world, make sure it works until we touch base again. You know,
Oh my gosh. No,
yeah.
you know what? I love that for you though, because that's also confidence. Because I think a lot of people forget that they're not raising children,
Ah,
they're raising adults. So that cutoff of being able to understand and even trusting your gut instinct, right? Your gut that I have raised a good person, I have raised
yeah.
somebody who's going to be capable in this world, is I
Oh
think that
yes,
one of the main reasons why, as parents, we try to hold on to our children longer than
yes.
we should.
Oh, it's my most exciting part of this. When I look at my accomplishment in raising, that I don't wake up to cook
Hmm.
breakfast on a Sunday for anybody besides my wife.
Mm.
I can't ask, are you hungry? No, 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 mate. As long as you know what to
Each
do.
man for himself.
No, each man for himself. If it's there, it's there. And
Hmm.
the nice thing now is that, we're starting to apportion the fridge, like roomies. Don't touch my
You've
yogurt.
got roommates now.
Yeah, I know. Don't touch my yogurt. When we do grocery, you know that you like Doritos. I don't do Doritos, so keep you in. But it's one of those that where they do their shopping and then they tap you on the shoulder. Can I have your card? So I'm enjoying that process now, and
Nice.
look, it's earned stripes. It's earned stripes. It's not an easy journey.
No, it's
Um,
not.
and whatever I did to my parents to make them kuwapa shungu, I apologize because I'm going through it now. You know, but
I think you need to
nonetheless,
say that again so
yeah.
they really hear you.
Oh man,
Yes.
yeah. So it's been fun. And the nice thing is, my kids are also they're so in love with Zimbabwe, and that
Mm.
is a beautiful thing for me. They find their belonging. They believe in Tupo. As we do in the Hatendi family, because Tuana Humba Makombe. So,
Okay.
and we stand strong on that. And they do too. They believe in that. So I think we're almost there. With my wife, I think we're almost there to say, look, lads, I think you'll be able to handle it. You're
Yeah.
good boys. And whatever it is, you won't run away from it. Just make sure you don't go hungry. So it's not about eating the best, it's just eating okay.
Eating okay, right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, and as I said, for you, I think the theme has been intentionality, being able to instill those deep roots in them. You
yeah,
might not be living in Zimbabwe, but I'm sure they have pride in knowing who they are.
yeah,
So they can walk into any room and still be themselves. And that is something that if it's not it's not only taught, it also has to be lived
true,
in
true,
order for
say,
the kids to be able to actually emanate it. You have to live it. So,
true, say.
definitely kudos to both you and your wife for you guys being able to do that. Kudos to you for keeping the culture
Yeah,
going.
yeah, and I always say, and I say to them, guys, when you bring your friends home, the lady friends, please make sure that they're prettier than your mom. Otherwise, that's the bar. You know.
Why are you setting standards for these boys? Leave those boys alone. So, listen, this whole conversation has been about the boys, but this is not what this is about. Really, this is about you. I know they have a huge part of that,
Yeah.
but for you and your journey to 50.
So where do I begin, though? Look, I have. How can I put it? I don't regret any parts of my life. If I
Nice.
do, it's so momentarily, should I
Yeah.
say? Because I think I'm of the generation where I had a fantastic, fantastic teenagehood, so to say.
Mm.
Um, I've grown up with great friends, and
Lifelong friends, it sounds like.
lifelong friends.
Mhm.
I miss a lot of people. Because I've had the occasion to spend a lot of time with a lot of people. Um, I grew up a little bit faster than my years. So, it's when I hit 21,
Was
22,
that because of behavior?
behavior,
Was that
mischief.
because of your behavior? Okay.
Yeah,
Mischief.
behavior.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mischief is the word. The growing
yeah.
up before you need. Okay.
Mischief.
Okay.
Mischief. Look, I was not a saint, but I was a nice naughty boy.
Okay.
I was a nice naughty boy. you know,
Was it the type of naughty boy when everything starts messing up, you look the most innocent, yet you were probably the ringleader?
yeah, I'll put it this way: I was the naughty boy your mom liked.
Oh goodness, you're the dangerous kind of
Eh,
naughty boy.
you know, I was the naughty boy that your mom trusted me to go out with. No, she knew that I was a naughty boy, but I was the good naughty boy that
Oh my
you know.
gosh, you would still behave.
Yeah, and she'd know that okay, this one is naughty, but it's okay. He's
Oh.
welcome, but come again. Um, but having said that, I had the most fun being a teenager. If God
Mm.
said rewind button and pick a place, I would do my teenage years again without changing a thing.
Oh, that is lovely. That
You know,
is lovely.
without changing a thing. And I think those who rode with me and have known me, we have the fondest memories. There are times that I think we can laugh and laugh and laugh. Um, I would like to say
Isn't
I
that the
don't think,
best?
yeah, I'd like to think I don't have an enemy, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and even those that wanted to dislike me didn't quite find the space to dislike me, you know.
They couldn't justify it. Like,
Eh,
why do you not like that? They can't justify it.
the thing is, I don't think I wronged anyone,
Mhm.
in my life, I always did things a little bit different. I wanted to be different. I made sure that I did things differently. Um, but I never shunned anyone, and I don't think anyone can turn around and say that Kuziwa Hatendi has ever shunned me, you know.
Mhm.
Uh, I think when kids say that they're hosting a beach party, I was the equivalent in our time. We hosted a huge place. My mom had a restaurant called Pan African. Um, and this is how I sort of raised my fees to go to the United Kingdom. At
Okay.
the time, I needed to go. Oh, we threw some massive parties.
Oh, you're throwing
Massive.
the parties. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm such a homebody. I would know. I knew about these things, but I don't like crowds.
Oh man,
But yet I
if
am the life of the party when I'm there. But I just that effort to go out. I'm just like, ugh. I'll just
That's
stay
me
home.
today, though. That's me today. The funny thing is that is me today. Is that it kind of like, yeah, my sail has been blown. And the time that I rode the oceans and went over the waves, yeah, I did it in my time. I mean, put it this way, in my 20s, I should have been grooving big time, but I'd settled. I kind of did
Okay.
everything that I needed to do in the right time. Um,
So was it kind of one of those moments where everybody was like, Kuziwa did what? He's married?
yeah, do you know that
Was it
I
like
was
one of those things
actually,
where everybody does a double take?
yeah, surprisingly, this beautiful chick that I got married to, man, wow. I was never supposed to marry her. Not her, not me
Oh.
marrying her, but yeah,
Oh.
I kind of found my treasure
I
and
might have
said,
to have her on just to be like, why? Tell me why.
oh, yeah, she's an Arundel chick, and the funny thing is, her best friend was my homie. And
Oh.
one Sunday, Arundel was one of those schools. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like you looked at the girls at Arundel and said, "I love them." There were a few peaches. The rest were siblings. I mean, the girls at Arundel were like my sisters. And
Right, right.
large because my sister was there. But other than that, my friends' sisters were also there. So they were like my sisters as well, you know. And one Sunday, I'm sitting with my wife is called Doris. So I'm sitting with Doris's best friend, her bestie, bestie, bestie. And I'm sitting there and saying, Jenny, who's the girl? You're like, you, I'll kill you if you touch her. We're like, watch, one day I'm going to marry her. I don't know how God made that happen.
Really? You declared it then?
I declared it then.
Before you
Uh,
even knew her?
I didn't even know her name. And
That is amazing.
2 years later, we met. She had just finished school. And yeah, the acquaintance began, you know. And, everything else said, yeah. And then it became that. And then she became the girlfriend, the friend, the girlfriend, the chick, the babe, the number one, the honey, you name it. I can't live without you. My breath. I
You're my
lose my breath,
everything.
my everything, and then it became
Oh,
fear. I didn't even ask to marry her. I didn't even propose. I just put a ring on her finger. I said, "Are we doing this?" And to this
wow.
day,
So you owe her a proposal.
I'm not gonna propose because I don't want to be told no.
No, she's your girlfriend for life. So at some point you have to propose.
If I propose it, you put me on standby. You didn't propose that time. I'm not taking those chances.
Dapinda, dapinda. I'm not going backwards.
Napinda. I'm in. I'm staying that way. Guys, I can't take that chance. You will be gutted.
No, that
Mm.
sounds like such a fairy tale kind of marriage, and I'm really happy for you guys. Congratulations.
No, I.
So go
Yes,
ahead.
please carry
Sorry.
on. Please carry on.
So with you, so 50, you've just turned 50. You've been experiencing this 50 thing now for like what, a month?
A month?
Yeah, like a month today, actually. You said the
Yeah.
25th of June, right?
Yep.
Yep,
And
a whole month today.
you see, it's a whole month later, and it's still rolling, still rolling.
Hmm.
I am so happy to be. Uh, if there is a definition of happiness, this is the place to be. There are people that have not made it that were in our lives, and I think for a
Yes.
great many of us, we look back at the friends we've lost, the cousins we've lost, the cousins we
Hmm.
grew up with. They didn't make this number.
Right.
So to make this number is so great because it gives you a very different perspective of life. And to be quite honest, I am so looking forward to enjoying the second half of this life. Because it's no longer about the
Hmm.
grind now. It's no longer about the grind. It's now about just feeding into the happiness. And feeding into the
Yes.
happiness is, yeah, it's not monetary anymore. It's now looking for the occasions that keep you smiling
You're now
and the things
living.
that make you have
Yes.
the greatest memories. You see, you talking about your son turning 26. Wow, look at that. And what are the chapters that are going to be happening in his life that you get to witness? You see?
Right.
And
Right.
one day he's going to turn 30 and say, you know what, folks? What now? And you're able to share that, you know what? It's not even about the money now. Now it's about putting the values together and living those values.
Hmm.
You there now, and say, okay, so wow, I'm really enjoying being at this number, and may God keep me for the next several numbers.
Oh,
I don't want to do the Noah times and the Adam
nope.
and
That's
yeah,
our
yeah,
prayer.
yeah,
Just as long as I'm supposed to be here.
yeah. Ish, yeah, you see, for you guys here in America, so it's okay. In Africa, tangosvika mazera wozonzi wese muzuva wape fanta baba muri kunzwa sei
Ah,
no.
anyway, with the way
you know
things are happening, kunoku, you don't even know. Because
hey, I
takungosvikawo ikoko kwamuri.
you know, I don't want to be kunzi mapa sekuru here mvura sekuru mamwa mapirisi here no, I'm good. You see, um, one person I look at is my dad. My dad is 78, and
But you know what, though?
yeah, he refuses to not be independent, and I'm like,
Well, but that's what I was,
he's
how was your dad?
78 this year.
He refuses to not be
Yo,
independent. That is awesome. So your parents, I would say, are a lot ahead of the scale, because one of the things I've realized in having these conversations is that we are not the same 50 that even our
no,
parents were. We're not the same 50. So your dad is actually ahead of the curve, because a lot of people cherish, like our parents and our parents'
yeah.
generations, they cherish that moment where they get to that age of, okay, now I can say, grandkids, do this for me. Oh, my children are now gone and they have their own families. So I am now officially old. We're not doing that.
For me, I think the only thing that tells that I'm 50 is that I got a lot of gray hair. It wasn't supposed to come. I don't know why, which
It's
spirit was doing my
wisdom.
jealous
No,
for
that's
me.
wisdom.
But,
No, that's wisdom. We shall count it as wisdom.
look, as long as Obama's got more gray hair than me, I'm good. I'm good.
As he should. As the leader of the so-called the leader
Eh,
of the free world, he should have more gray hairs.
so as long as his is white, I'm good. I'm good. But no, truly, look, to be here in the year 50, it's not so much about the date that it happens; it's the
Right.
year that
Yes.
we need to embrace, and to say
Yes.
that, what, this we came to this world in 75, 2025. I mean,
Mhm.
you know to be honest, I think every single one of us looked at this time and said, in 2025, I'll be 50. It was not
It
imaginable. It was too far
wasn't.
away.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It
You
was
know,
never.
you know, we,
At no time did I ever sit down and say, "I wonder what I will be like when I'm 50."
you, we all looked at in the 90s and we were 15 and in Form
Hmm.
3 together. Atakura, tima
Right.
independent, you were allowed to come home at midnight. Life was
And
okay,
then at 19,
you
when
know.
you're allowed to go overseas, get on
And,
a plane and go overseas by yourself, I was
you
grown.
know, 90. Grown, and you felt independent, paying your own rent. I remember my
Mm.
dad came to visit me in London the one time, and I asked him to switch off the light. And I said, what was that? My kids are not zimwa.
That's a
So I
new
was like,
type of grown
hey,
up right there. I know. I now know about these bills.
you know, yeah. You see, even now, and I look at my kids, and they walk out the room. They go, can't you left your friend in your room? And they always look at me, what do you mean? I'm like, go and
Isn't
fetch
it
your
funny
friend.
when you hear yourself
And like,
restating the things that were said to you?
amen, But,
That's yeah.
having said that, walking in faith, my wife brought me to faith in 2009, and I have thoroughly enjoyed my conversations with God,
Yes.
to say that, thank you, Lord. I may not have the dream car, Aston Martin DB11. If anyone is listening, any billionaire that's listening, uh,
Who wants to
as a
part with
50th
one?
birthday present,
Yes.
wants to just part with one. I'm here in Joburg, Aston Martin,
The most
DB11,
ideal
white
50th
seats,
birthday
leather,
present. Ooh, you've got the seats down,
you know.
everything.
Ah,
What
we've got
color?
the seats, white leather seats. Yes, white leather seats,
Okay.
not black, please. White leather
Okay.
seats to show good wageza
Okay.
ukuseni.
Okay. And it's a two-seater, so it's
Uh,
just you and your
uh,
wife.
Ah, two-seater.
Uh-huh.
I don't need niggas with me. No, no, no. I don't even want my own family in that car. Just my wife. Just
Again, intentional.
because,
Very intentional.
yeah, no, no, no. Just and just to bore people and think. I just want to listen to Mozart. I know this. Yeah, I think that's the time I
No
really
rap.
appreciate.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, hey, no, no, we don't need hooliganism. Guys,
That is
you
funny.
know.
Well,
So
just go
yeah,
ahead.
it's
Finish your thought.
yeah. No, I was just saying that. Yeah, So that's it. And in my walk, it's just I am truly, truly, truly grateful
Hmm.
um, to be living this life as Kuziwa Hatendi. And I think when I leave this earth, I hope I leave an impact and great memories. Um, to say that, you know what, this guy lived, we enjoyed, we met him, and it was always an honor to have shaken his hand. I think that's the
That is a
impact I'd like to
legacy.
leave in this world.
That is a
You
beautiful
know,
legacy. And honestly, just from speaking to you today and how intentional, as I said, intentional is the word for you. How intentional I think you've lived your life, it sounds like. I think that legacy has already been built. The foundation of that, it sounds like it's
it,
already there. So really good vibes to you. Really good vibes. Well,
yes, and please carry on. Please carry
oh
on.
no, I was gonna say, well, to wrap it up, the one thing I always ask my guests is, what would you tell your 21-year-old self today at 50? What advice would you give your 21-year-old self?
Ah, wow. Dear Kuziwa, for the next 21 years and more, always move forward. There's very little to regret in life,
Mhm.
and do not be afraid to make the right decision. Even though sometimes you may be wrong, learn from it always.
Mm,
And life is about progress. Like mathematics, it's a linear progression. That's how God has intended it for you. And keep going, son. Keep going.
I love that. I love that. Keep going. So I'm going to give that advice to your 50-year-old self, right? Keep going.
Yeah.
Continue to live
Ah,
life intentionally and continue to just walk with the faith. It sounds like you're a man who's steady in your
amen.
faith. Just take that next step like you did before, knowing you're stepping on solid ground. Definitely,
Amen.
definitely. It
You
was
know.
wonderful speaking to you, Kuziwa.
No, lovely to have met you. I feel like I should have met you 100 years ago.
I know
You
this
know.
was so easy.
Uh, and I look forward to actually meeting you in person, and we
Well, you
catch
said
up
that
from where we
51
have
next
left
year,
off.
right? That 51 next
You
year
know
that you're
what?
having in.
Yes, no, I'm going. You know what? We want to do it about this time next year.
I'm for
Um,
it.
Largely, August, so that there's no rain and it's not too cold. So it's going to be about August, September
I am for
next
it.
year. I just got to make sure that I don't interfere with my anniversary and my wife's birthday. But yeah,
Yes,
it's just to keep the glory. But like I said, it's not a 50th this year because I'm still doing some self retrospection and ticking all the boxes. And then when my first year happens in the 50s, we're
I love
celebrating.
it.
We're celebrating to say that this was what happened the last 50 years. So God be with me that I'm
I love
alive.
it. I love it. No, I will be seeing you next year around this time. And now we have it recorded. So it's definitely on,
Yes.
it's recorded somewhere in a cloud, but it's definitely out there.
Yes. So no, what we're gonna do is that we'll find a very nice
I love
venue,
it.
because ultimately we want it to be a family
Hmm.
event. Bring your family.
Yes.
I am one person that I love family. I really, would love to see if all of us got these grown kids that live their own independent lives.
Hmm.
So it's bring a spouse or bring the one that you love,
Yes.
and let's
Some
make
of
it
us have
let's
not
make a
been
day of
blessed with
it.
30 years. We haven't been blessed with 30 years. So, we'll bring the one we love.
Bring the one you love. Bring the one you love.
No, I definitely
This is
look
not.
forward
This
to
is
that.
not. this is not it's not a platform of judgment. Life has its own challenges and differences. I
Right.
mean, I'm always fighting with my wife and saying, you know what, that you denied my Hollywood crushes a chance with me, you know and she says, I said, I used to have a crush on that
You know,
chick.
there's a day she's gonna tell you go. So be careful.
If she tells me, yeah, and go away.
Go find that Hollywood
And it,
crush. Hey,
I know, but she's already married. You can't take someone's wife. I'm just saying, just so that you know,
you
yeah,
because you keep
ah,
reminding
go
her.
away.
So one of these days she's going to answer you and tell you, "Well, go get her."
Let's go
Ah, ah,
together. And you can
no, this is
explain
this
why I'm
is your
leaving because
crush. This is nothing to
you
do
see,
with her. But yet you keep wanting to bring her
ah,
into it.
no,
You
I
see?
just said to her, hey, I'm so glad that guy's even gone old. What's his name? Denzel Washington. Huh? The guy gave me a heart attack when I see that's my
Oh
crush.
no, but
I
he has
went
gotten
weak.
finer like red wine. No, 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 no. Denzel has gotten
Ah,
finer like
ah.
red wine.
No, you see, so that's what I'm saying is that we have to just remind each other that, sweetie, it's you and me, we're just on lockdown. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. And we're in
Yeah,
lockdown.
yeah, we
But
just,
Kuziwa, this has been an amazing time. Thank you so, so much.
no. Thank you. I thank you. And I wish you every success with this podcast. Keep fishing these 50 hours. There
You.
are plenty of them,
Oh, I
and we'll refer them.
yes, please. I need more guys. I need more guys on. I've been speaking to women, which I love, but I really want to get the guy perspective, and I really enjoyed yours. You're gonna be my first guy that
Okay,
I'm
no,
publishing, so
I,
I'm super excited about just that.
okay. So what I will do is that I will reach out to those that I know, the machinda that I
Yes,
know.
yes,
As vain as they want to be, I know they want to be heard some way or the other.
right.
So I will reach them out and then put you in touch. And then, I look forward to hearing, what people have to say about being 50.
Yes, I love it. All right. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Journey from 1975 to 2025. Make sure you're subscribing YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify so you don't miss the latest episode.